But this one has my eye quite a bit. Magic Spacestation versus Proton. I think this one, this Proton roster, I think has the potential to really be the next Cinderella story throughout the next few tournaments. I think adding Monster to this roster has really helped them out a ton. Not that Haynes was like a problem or anything, I just feel like it's given them this new life, this new energy that they play with, and I feel like they're a team now that can upset anyone given the right day.
Yeah, we've already seen Proton with many upsets from the Open Series #2 and into their own tournament, where Proton actually did upset Spacestation Gaming, force them into the lower bracket, and then there was a bracket reset. That's a whole thing with these two teams very recently being at each other's throats, so expecting more of the same here in this series. Spacestation are the #1 seed in this pool, Proton as the #3, but like you're saying, the upset potential is in place. Proton Gaming, their seeding might not match their skill level.
And already they're getting the overshield right away, and they're putting it in the hands of their newest player. I want to see how Monster plays throughout this game. If he's going to play faster, slower, how much respect he's going to give the other roster. Unfortunately, this overshield doesn't really get into play quick enough. His teammates fall down, but he's able to get 2 before he goes. But I want to see him just play a little bit faster throughout this game, be with his teammates instead of using them to define
killing spree.
Looking for that unification from Proton. With that change to adding Monster to the roster, it might take some time just to feel like the team coordination is in place, but that's something that Spacestation need to rely on, that they have been together as a strong team of 4 throughout last season and all of 2023. It's Eco at the bottom of B pillars, gets a takedown and gets the damage onto Common, and that's the assist coming through. This is where Spacestation Gaming is dangerous as a team of 4.
Yeah, Spacestation Gaming's been a roster I think is steadily improving. When they first got bound onto this roster, everyone thought it was going to be plug and play. Renegade went missing, you replace him with basically Renegade 2.0. It's been some growing pains throughout, but every single tournament I feel like they're getting a little bit better, and now I finally feel like they're reaching that apex where suddenly it's not a conversation between Optic and FaZe anymore, it's a conversation between these 3 teams on who can win a tournament.
That's definitely been the conversation, those top 3, and Proton nipping at the heels of some of these big names with, you know, a little bit of a storyline of getting those upsets, especially in recent weeks. But it was a triple cap from Spacestation that leads them to this 50+ second lead. Now Proton with the advantage, but what did they lose? They lost control of the overshield. Watch out, Bound is on the prowl. He might be negative in the early stages of this game, but once he gets heated up, this Slayer can cause some damage.
And look at Proton, they're all trapped, constricted at the back of A, trying to move forward, but Spacestation, they've had a tough line of defense, and they're waiting on this flank by Common, but Bound so quick to find that flanker. Unfortunately, he goes down, and that's going to give it just enough leeway for the rest of Proton to break out. So phenomenal play by Common. Bound read it, but sometimes you just have the better individual play. He's able to get that kill, and now Proton able to surge forward and take control.
And they are adding kills on top of that, right? You see them surging forward for that control, but even all the while, 4 go down for Spacestation. They're back to the drawing board, and now the triple cap is reversed. It's Proton with the map control. It's Proton rapidly climbing the scoreboard. He looks like it's about to be flipped, but no, it stopped at the last second. Breaking Shot hits the snipe kill to reset the zone to keep that control.
Breaking Shot's keeping them back at the moment just by himself, able to stop B. And well, Eco, you're not going to be safe hiding in the back. This sniper of Breaking Shot is filthy when he's on Stellar. Oh, he took the challenge. Breaking Shot finally goes down, but you're going to notice a lot of Proton's gameplay is going to revolve around making sure that Breaking Shot in particular gets control of the power weapons. He's so effective with them, and that's when they're at their best.
We've seen Breaking Shot time and time again with the sniper control, with the shock rifle. Like, I very vividly remember the recharge game where he came out with the frenzy with the use of that shock rifle. So watch out for the power weapons. Luckily for the side of Spacestation, there's only 1 round left in the sniper, and it's Stellar putting it to work as he takes down Monster. And now, after his position's been revealed, after the sniper has been expended, he can safely get the capture. Spacestation are holding on to that early lead, but by the skin of their teeth.
And you know, we're basically back to an even game now, and Space Station, I think they're a little bit, they're playing with this sense of urgency that you don't normally see in such an early game. We're seeing a lot of pushes into these back bases. It feels like they want to put Proton out for the count. They're going for that big knockout punch, but Proton's been resilient. They have that iron jaw. They keep taking these punches and they dish them right back out. They're looking to get themselves in another trip cap as Posey just wins a huge fight. And Space Station, they did it once again, right? They push fast, but the counter punch, the counter attacks have been just immensely powerful for Proton Gaming.
And that's the lead. The first time we see that Proton Gaming have the lead, it's a slim margin, just 2 points. Space Station quickly adjust to hopping onto B. The zone control back to SSG, and Proton Gaming, they have to fall back. They have to regroup. Bound is kind of in a sneak corner. He has the heat wave watching at the top of sandbags, watching that big door, and he has the help of Stellar on the side of the bridge. Here comes the push, and that heat wave is going to be enough for one takedown, but it was the 1v2, and Breaking Shot is the player to take that win and hopefully capture the zone. But Space Station quickly sending all of their resources to deal with Breaking Shot. This #1 player on the side of Proton is already 17-9. It took the full team of Space Station to shut him down.
Yeah, unfortunately, once he went down, the rest followed. It was a 3 down, and now Space Station, with power-ups coming up, just have the better position, but it might just be equalized. No, he didn't grab it in time, and he's not going to be able to stop Bound. Great idea from Breaking Shot, but he just got a little too ahead of himself, and well, Bound's going to punish you every time. It's about to go down in the Shadow Realm. Bound says, I got you. I don't know if we'll count that as a ninja, but the game certainly does. It's a 2-cap for Proton, but Bound is quickly trying to eliminate this hold.
I get hyped every time you call the Shroud Screen the Shadow Realm. Like, honestly, it just adds another layer on top of it. Bound gets the double kill after the ninja. He's finally taken down, but taking down Bound might just be the first step. You still got to deal with multiple players. It's Stellar versus Breaking Shot. Breaking Shot has to disengage on that fight in order to reload. Stellar drops back to try to find a longer range engagement where he can utilize the rest of the sniper.
Yeah, I'd love to see Stellar really controlling this weapon in particular for his team. I know people always talk about Royal 2, Frosty, Lucid when it comes to the sniper rifle, but Stellar's right up there in that conversation. The shots he can hit are unreal, and he can change the game just by himself.
He's already changed the game, right? He disengaged from that fight. He stayed alive to keep the sniper in control of SSG. And now they're for the first time, maybe seeing that slowed down pace as B and C are in the control of SSG. Stellar does not connect on the final round. 2 players from Proton steal back B, but there's still that lead from Space Station that Proton has to deal with.
Yeah, neither team has really been able to pull away in a way that they want to. There's always been an answer that's come right away, and I feel like this game is going to change as soon as someone gets a strong trip cap hold where they have that spawn trap. Both teams are looking for it. We've seen Proton get into temporary trip caps, but not an established one yet. And Space Station constantly push forward for trip caps, and well, things might be changing right here because Bound has this overshield and Space Station are flying forward.
Is this back-to-back overshields for Bound, or was there one round in between? I can't remember.
I think this is back-to-back for Bound. He's been phenomenal when it comes to being on top of that overshield. He's taken individual fights to ensure that his team gets it as well. Really been, I think, a core reason why this Space Station roster has been ahead is just their power-up control and their power weapon control. They're not letting Proton really work with that much of the sniper, that much of the heat wave.
The sidekick comes out for Bound, and even though Proton didn't have control of the overshield, Breaking Shot, you know, counted as a win to get the trade on the overshielded Bound. 2 going down for either side. The fight is at the back of B. Space Station are just seconds away from that 200 mark, that red zone for strongholds, but Common stops the clock. He contests at B, he gets the capture. Proton are still down 40 seconds, but they're climbing back. No triple caps from after that early game where we saw Space Station with 1, Proton with like the briefest of triple caps, and Proton are looking for another, but they have to deal with Bound first. That's the triple trip cap for Proton. That gets them right back in this game.
Oh, and Penguin just lost a crucial one-on-one to Common. And although Common doesn't have that many kills in this game, he's gotten the pivotal one, right? This is the trip cap that Proton Gaming has been looking for. And look how fast they just took the lead in this game. The trip cap can pull you right back in at any moment. And now it's Monster on an island trying to survive an onslaught of players that are coming for him. But that Shroud Streak using it so effectively, ring around the Rosie at top tower. And the trip cap just keeps scoring.
Oh, Chad, I hope you don't get motion sick easy, because that spinning around the pillar might just make you a little bit nauseous. But for Monster, it was the play to get the slay onto Penguin, and now he's adjusting over to Overshield. He wins out the kill. Is there anybody else from Proton from Space Station to clean up? They're not, because Space Station is prioritizing getting out of that triple cap. So now bound 2 overshields in a row. That spree is broken up by Monster with OS and Proton just 3 seconds away from taking game 1. The clock ticks down. There's a contested C. It's not over yet.
It's gonna come down to Eco. Eco needs to win the 1v2. He jumps off the map. He's not able to take anyone down, but did he buy enough time? Stellar surging forward. Here comes the rest. Bound was able to get in this hill, and Space Station, they're taking numbers of losses, but they're at least able to contest for just a bit longer. But this rotation from Posey's a backbreaker. No one's there to stop this. It's game for Proton as Posey gets the hill.
I like that dramatic pause, because for a brief second you thought maybe SSG get on a hill in time, but no. Proton Gaming, they lived up to the script that you said. If they get the triple cap, they ride it all the way to the win. And you see Monster with the survivability, with the ring around the Rosie making us all dizzy, and he ends up getting this takedown on Penguin that was maybe like the last in the tower to fall.
Right, and it was honestly a little bit surprising how sluggish Space Station Gaming was to react to this trip cap. I feel like there was a lot of opportunity to play a little bit faster, not let the score get out of hand. Once Monster got that kill, the overshield goes to them. You have to feel like this is a no-lose situation for Proton Gaming. Having this overshield, being able just to have the freedom to challenge what you want. They made the right rotations, and at the very end, a heads-up play from Posey to rotate to C where no one can contest in time, and it wins them the game.
Yo, big credit to Brandon on the Observer, because Monster was the player to watch, winning that kill at the top of C Tower and then taking down the pivotal 1v1 on Eco in order to secure Overshield. There was a brief moment right at that 249 mark where we thought SSG are back in the fight, but then the dual push, it's Posey on C and it's Common on B winning out the fight. So there were several factors leading into those final stages for the victory.
Right, I mean, if Posey doesn't rotate C, I think that Space Station Gaming has a real chance to come back into that game. We saw them lose the fight at B, but Posey with that heads up play, understanding where the weaknesses were on the map, right? When things start to get towards the end of games, people start to play more risky positions. They're not necessarily on top of their P's and Q's, checking every lane, making sure that their flanks are covered. And Posey takes advantage, was able to move through top mid with no contestation because of how much action was happening at B, how many numbers were rotating away. He's able to get in C, and by the time anyone notices, it's just too little, too late.
There were a lot of high-risk, high-reward plays at the end of the game, and it seems like the risk paid off for Monster and the rest of Proton Gaming. Breaking shot with the most damage across the board. I think that surprises 0 people with the breaking that 6K damage mark. It was quite the brawl back and forth. You know, it was quite the tug-of-war match either way, but does game 1 going to Proton lead you to lean more into that upset potential?
I think Proton is, from what I saw, they're playing in a game where they can absolutely take Space Station and win this series, and especially a Space Station on pool play. This is honestly, I don't know what it is about tournament play, but Space Station, it feels like if there's not anything on the line, if their tournament life isn't on the line, they don't play to their highest potential. I feel like they always need those like high stakes in order to play their best game. So Proton, I think they have a real chance right now to take advantage of that lackluster Space Station pool play style play and get a win and maybe get first out of this pool. That being said, you're playing against Space Station, right? Eco, Stellar, I consider them top 10 players in the game. We already know what Bound is able to do, and then I think Penguin is just that Swiss tool, that Swiss knife tool that you need for a team to be successful.
The Swiss Army knife for the team in order to play like multiple roles, being able to fill in as a utility player. And I think that this Proton roster has never looked better. They've been on the come up throughout all of, season 2. We've seen them making strides and just climbing rung after rung on the ladder. But what a test for them here in the early stages of pool play to go up against SSG. And it's hard for me to say that this is like a rivalry, but I think at this point you'd have to count it as such after the recent matchups that we've seen between these two teams.
Yeah, you're going to have to play on your highest level in order to win on this stage, right? The teams are just getting closer and closer to each other when it comes to the skill gap. We're not necessarily seeing this huge separation that I think a lot of people expected coming into season 2. We saw upset after upset these last couple weeks, and well, that might be in store once again with how Proton's been able to play it. Well, Chris Common, he opens up this game with a huge double kill, getting that stalker rifle, getting all the power weapons. Is this Proton gaming roster, and Space Station is just struggling to find them and get these kills.
Yeah, and instead it's like Posey around in the corner with a sentinel beam finding a kill, and look at the staggered spawns here from SSG. Common about to find another kill. Bound and Stellar each have one. Common shuts it down. A double kill of his own is keeping SSG on their back foot in the early stages of this map. Proton have that 4-kill lead, that full team wipe. SSG finally are able to group back up and focus on the team fire.
Yeah, I feel like SSG gets bailed out a little bit right there just from a simple mistake from Proton Gaming, not realizing how much stalker rifle ammo that they had. With the Red Rack update, the stalker rifle runs out of ammo much more rapidly than ever before, and I think players are still adjusting to that pace. I think more often than not, you're gonna have to put down the red gun as it runs out of ammo when you don't have necessarily the bullets to facilitate more kills. If he would have gotten that next kill without running out of ammo, I think Proton is still running away with this game.
Yeah, but as it stands, it's nearly a tie game. It is back to a tie. The first quarter of the match is past. Teams are neck and neck, and now Space Station, they're one away, but they're eyeing those rockets. Posey gets away with a rocket at 1 HP as the commando fire, maybe pre-nerf. That commando finds a full kill, but that one extra round of damage needed from the commando for a kill was enough to keep Posey alive.
Oh, and excellent plays by Posey. Patient, understood what was happening, perfect pre-aims, and he just gets away with his life, and there's no one to clean it up. And now Space Station, this is the dangerous proposition. You always want to have 4 BRs up at the same time. When you're constantly being put on cycle, things can change quickly, and while Posey has just continued to go big. It's Bound versus Breaking Shot, but the red gun makes all the difference, and the shroud screen lets him dip away. What a play from Breaking Shot.
Any like precision type weapon, right? We've seen Breaking Shot with the sniper, we've seen with the shock rifle, add the red gun on top of that. Breaking Shot knows how to utilize this sandbox. Look at the drop wall being placed by a teammate to try to get that extra burst of damage. Breaking Shot's finally taken down. In fact, 3, all 4 go down for Proton. Exactly what Space Station needed. They're still down 4, but without that team wipe, this game is starting to run away.
Yeah, and now Proton's in a dangerous position because look, they're trapped, right? They have to break through and they have to be smart about it, but Space Station has the freedom to check any lane that they want. That first pick's gonna open up the floodgates. Get ready for the push. Space Station storming the castle, and all of Proton Gaming go down, and it's just smart plays that's facilitated by patience from Space Station. They're not playing ahead of themselves. They had them all trapped, but they wait for the first pick, and once that pick happens, the flood comes through, and they get kill after kill. A phenomenal push from Space Station Gaming.
I mean, if you're a Halo fan, you know how dangerous that flood coming through is they just swarm off of the spawn and they take down kill after kill. Back-to-back team wipes from Space Station Gaming to be right in this match, right at the turning point in the midway point of the game. But it's Proton Gaming. They're not out of the fight just yet. They have a 4-point lead. Penguin is forced to burn the second rocket. No kill credited as he's taken down. The best he can do is keep that rocket out of the hands of Posey.
Yeah, I mean, Penguin has a timer going off in his head, and he can feel the threat of danger. And he says, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the kill. You might as well just try, maybe get a miracle play, but you keep it away from Proton Gaming at minimum. And now Space Station, it's back to even, and they have to find a way to break out once again. Bound getting that crucial first pick, and I feel like Bound's been a huge reason as to why Space Station's still in this game. When his team has needed him to step up and carry while they've been struggling in the early game, he did just that. And now Space Station, it feels like they're starting to come alive a little bit, but it's all because of Bound's early play that's allowed them to stay in this game.
Yeah, Bound is 16-10, while players like, you know, Penguin is 4-8. But if you're looking at the assist count, Space Station are winning on that front. And it is Bound that is keeping the game close. Just a 2-point lead here for Proton Gaming. Breaking Shot has the shotgun, the Bulldog at the ready. And it might be a Bulldog versus Red Gun scenario. Breaking Shot rotates to the back of A. He's going to find that Stalker rifle in his face, and he takes the fight head on. Both players go down. Both weapons are down. And Proton is up by 5.
You see how Space Station, they're in a 3-1 split right now. Eco's separated, and he's trying to get back, but the nades are going to catch him out, and now it's a similar problem that Proton had before, but they're taking advantage this time around. Space Station all start to see the respawn screen, and suddenly Space Station, they're playing with not that many actions left. They can't afford any deaths at this moment, right? You only have 5 more lives to work with, and Proton Gaming, all they have to worry about is stay together. Make sure any kill that comes towards you gets traded out. No free deaths.
And exactly that is the key for Space Station. If they're going to get back in this game, they need some free kills. They have 2 down. Breaking Shot trades out 1, but Eco with the triple kill. That's going to get them a net positive 2. They take 3 kills. They give up 1 in the process. They cut the lead to just 1 team wipe, and Bound might have the equalizer in hand. 2 rockets. Breaking Shot is around the corner at Planters. He fires 1. Hopefully no damage to a teammate. He gets that clean kill without being traded out, and now he's singling out Posey for another, just like that. It's a 3-point game, but on the other side of the map, 2 go down for Space Station.
They still have 1 more death to work with. This is more than possible for this Space Station roster, and you're gonna see them find the weak players and just slaughter them. What a play to take down Monster. That is going to open up all the possibilities. 49-48. This is going to come down to the wire. Oh, Bound just gets caught in the clamber.
Breaking Shot is breaking hearts as the 1-point game is clutched up by Proton Gaming. They win by just the slimmest 2 kills margin. They go up in the series 2-0. Everybody get your LVT sus emotes ready, because we are 1 match away from the upset if Proton can pull off the 3-0 sweep.
A phenomenal job by Space Station to get back into that game, right? They were finding the kills, but they just ran out of time. They ran out of deaths. I think if that game goes another 2-3 minutes and we're going first to 60, I think, hey, Space Station gets the job done, but they just went down too much in their early game. And I think it was really the opening plays that made the big difference, right? Proton Gaming getting on top of those power weapons, constantly having the control. And then this play by Posey, I really feel like opened up the separation that was needed for them to get the lead to win this game. But it's scary. When Space Station start to feel themselves and they start to come back, you can see their mind work and how things are going to happen. If Bound gets around that corner, if he doesn't get caught in that clamber, I think we're talking about a whole different situation. I think they could have absolutely made that comeback happen. But brilliant work from the side of Proton Gaming to get themselves up 2-0 in this series. But you can never count Space Station Gaming out. This is always has the potential for a reverse sweep.
Man, Bound crosses that 20 kill mark, fought so hard to keep SSG in this series, and there's that final kill that you're talking about. If Bound is just one step ahead, if he rounds that corner, we might have looked at a different outcome, but the final kill goes through for Breaking Shot. Once again, as the all-around top damage dealer, and Proton are on fire.
Yeah, I love to see Breaking Shot stepping up and playing his best game against the best teams, right? This is why Breaking Shot's on the roster. They wanted this up-and-coming young gun to really push Proton to the next to that next echelon, and I feel like this is the moment where he's proving that he was the right choice. When it's Spacestation Gaming, when it's a top 3 team in the game who have all won championships before, you are playing your best game, and honestly, it's a huge props to Breaking Shot. In game 1 and game 2, he was really the piece that put Proton Gaming over the edge, and now with just one game left, they can potentially sweep this Space Station roster.
But there's going to be a shift here in game number 3, and hopefully a positive shift on the side of Space Station, because if Breaking Shot is priority target for Proton, as he should be, he doesn't have any long-range weapons to deal with as we head to Aquarius. You'll have the Heat Wave in play, but there's no sniper, there's no shock rifle, there's no stalker, so maybe that's some hope for SSG to limit the slaying and damage power that Breaking Shot has brought in games number 1 and 2. We do have that active camo in place, so we have that as the only power up as we head into game 3, Aquarius CTF. How do you think, Tools, what's your opinion for how can SSG best utilize the use of that power up?
I mean, I think you just ensure that you're listening to your IGLs. You have some of the smartest players in the game on Space Station Gaming. As long as you are you're ensuring that you're on the same page and you listen to any play call that comes through, your camouflage players are going to be impactful. And this is a little bit of a luck out for Space Station Gaming going into Aquarius for game 3. This is one of their best game types and game mode combinations. This is Space Station Gaming at their best is when they're playing Aquarius CTF. Really watch out for them. Like this, you could see a complete change in pace of this game where Space Station just runs away because of how well they play this game in particular.
Well, that's why they painted half of the map yellow, right? For Space Station.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the 343 just knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's part of the script. Did you read the script?
Already, like Stellar's bringing this he's already bringing this flag. We're not even 30 seconds into the game. There's one player. It's Posey at the back base. I can stop this, but it's a 1v1, and Posey gets taken down. this is what I'm saying. Space Station Gaming are clinical on this map. There's no one that plays Aquarius quite like them, and you could see a 5-0 in a matter of minutes if they're on pace. And right now, they can't lose a fight. Everything is going right.
Yeah, they have 9 slays to the Proton Gaming 2, as well as that also critical first capture on the board. Space Station look like they have been woken up from sleep here heading into game number 3. Cowan finally finds a kill, a takedown, but 2 captured, and in 1 minute, we're on the 30-second pace for this game. You gave Space Station that yellow spawn, and now they're getting the captures on that same side.
Well, Penguin's finally taken down, so this flag's not going to be free, but it's certainly not in a bad position. Stellar can get the job done. He loses the thrust, but wins the battle. The return is going to come in time, so Proton Gaming barely escaped that 3rd flag, but it just shows you when Space Station gets set up, when they have their stranglehold on the map, there's no one that plays just like them. They are insanely hard to beat in this position.
I need someone to go back, watch the tape, watch theater, and break down the opening strat that SSG had for that, first 30-second capture, because that would be a textbook that I would want to study for how to play CTF Aquarius. 2-0 is the lead as 2 minutes are off the clock. A breakneck pace from Space Station. Proton finally stabilizing, but still not with any counter in sight.
And when it comes to Space Station on this map, it's not even a question if they win it. What the question normally is how much do they win by it. We already see that their margin is like it's in between 2 and 3 flag caps is what they normally win Aquarius flag by. I think they just understand this map on a higher level, and it makes sense because Spacestation, the core of this roster, Stellar and Eco, they're the ones that transformed the meta in Halo 5 when it came to Flag with Coliseum, and that's how they became so dominant in those days. They just understand how Flag works on another level, and it's always a pleasure to watch the Spacestation roster. But this is a huge test for Proton. You have everything going in your favor. Can you beat Spacestation Gaming on their best map?
Well, they have the flag, they have the potential to get the first point on the board. It was primarily Monster working with the active camo that was won over by Proton Gaming. They can't rely on having camo all of the time in order to get these wins. And so they do break that, what looked to be a breakneck speed on the side of Spacestation by getting the first capture on the board. Proton Gaming are starting to stabilize, but they have to play another round of defense to stop this flag run as Eco is trying to round that 50% mark. Two players, Monster and Breaking Shot, and Bound with the grenade, sets up the damage, cleans up both kills with the BR and the melee. This flag is still on the move.
Hey, you always have to check for snakes in the grass. Bound plays his position incredibly well, stays behind everyone, and when they need him to push forward, he does. The nade hits two players. It's a perfect kill at the perfect situation. He's able to get the flag home and away. And Spacestation Gaming, you'd think that we'd be approaching maybe 2 minutes left in this game with a 3-1 scoreline. No, we're like 4 minutes into this thing.
Double kill.
Breaking Shot with the cheeky corner positioning finds 2 kills, but there's 4 players for SSG to worry about. The kill onto Stellar comes from kill comes from Eco to win out the camo. It looked like Common was gonna take him down, but lasering with those BR shots, as if SSG needed any more advantage on this CTF Aquarius.
Everyone talks about how Eco's just this really smart player who understands the game, but you can't forget that Eco is also just a shooter at nature. Like when he feels himself, when he's ready to take a gunfight, he can win anything on the map. 13 kills already, double positive, but that kill that he got on Common, it's a little extra gross from top mid. It got themselves the camouflage and also got this flag on its way. Although it's not home yet, you can see that Spacestation are just chugging along. This one is all but secured for SSG. Everything just keeps going right.
4-1, and we're not even at the halfway point on time. Eco leading the way, 14-6. He gets the kill on Common to win over the active camo, and then he gets the back smack on Common to get the flag run started. Spacestation looking hard to stop. Proton did break that 0 on the scoreboard, and Breaking Shot is making his way into the back of the base, looking for a potential second capture. He gets the takedown on 1. He's getting the comms from teammates that there might be a second player that the rest of the team deals with. Finally, a slaying advantage for Proton, and they need to see this flag through to the finish line.
Problem is they don't have control of their home base. Eco's still sitting in the back there. It's going to be up to Posey to get the kill. They get it just in time. I don't think Spacestation's going to be able to stop this one, but that's a little spicy at the top of the base. They're getting through. Penguin gets the flag out. It's a last-ditch effort from Spacestation Gaming that might prove fatal.
It was Penguin with the dynamos and then rushes for the counter pull, and then Stellar follows up with a double kill. He's looking for more. The assist onto Common goes down. That flag pull has a stall factor, but Breaking Shot is hard to deal with. It's Breaking Shot with a double kill of his own. The heat wave in hand. Breaking Shot is so dangerous, and the only thing keeping Proton in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he gets the double kill when they needed it the most. These nades aren't gonna connect on anyone. Look at Posey just patiently waiting for all that utility to go away. He gets the return, and the flag should come home. Monster's there, and he punches it in. So not over yet, but you can see just Spacestation, even when they're losing the flag, they can make it mixy at any moment. They get in, they get those kills, and they're gonna be right back on the attack whenever you give them an opportunity.
Yeah, but Proton, they might have 2 captures. Each time they had a capture was after they had won over camo. First by Monster, and then the second time around it was Posey with the camo in order to get the return. But they can't rely on having camo control in order to get captures, at least not at this stage of the game, at least not when your score is doubled up by Spacestation. When it comes to just the straight up BR plays, Spacestation have had it on lockdown. The contest comes in for top mid. Breaking Shot's taken down by Stellar. Stellar sitting at 16-11 and finding some great kills, but Common is a double kill of his own, looking for the triple. He gets the triple.
I love Common playing at a breaking neck pace right there. He did not stop sprinting for 1 second, ensured that he got those 3 kills. The problem is he's a little bit too far ahead of his team. He's gonna have to come back and slay with the rest of his team. It's about making sure that you have the kills to facilitate a run. And yeah, Common could have kept that flag running, tried to get it home, but instead of brute forcing it, right, they play with a little bit of finesse. They play together, and that's gonna get them within 1. 3 to 4 is this game. You got 4 minutes to make the tie happen and potentially upset Spacestation on their best map.
What an incredible series of plays led by Common, and some of those plays don't show up in the stats, like getting that trade at top mid in order to defend your flag runner, who was monster. And now Proton Gaming just 1 capture down after 2 captures in the first minute from Spacestation. So you're getting the slays right when they need to. Common's in the back of the base. He has the heat wave yet again in hand. He has Penguin on the run, but he has to decide, is he playing offense, is he playing defense? Proton have the camo, they have the heat wave, they have the power-ups, and they need to utilize them in order to keep this game from going to that 5th capture for Spacestation.
This is so frustrating for Breaking Giants, his camouflage, but they just keep spotting him. They have camo eyes on the side of Spacestation. He's trying his hardest to get this kill. Bounce finally goes down, but he just didn't get the value that he wanted from that camouflage. That camouflage, he was thinking in his mind, this is how we tie up this game. He had high aspirations. Instead, he was getting peppered left and right. I felt like every player on Spacestation took their turn spotting camouflage from across the map.
Peppered left and right, absolutely accurate. Every time he was looking for a kill, he would just get singled out and take like 1 round of damage, just enough to keep him focused, fired. And now Breaking Shot, ooh, maybe the momentum slipping away after being the lead damage player in both of the previous games. Now it looks like Spacestation are prioritizing taking him down. They have the game-winning flag en route, and Penguin wins the PIV against Common to keep Spacestation in this game and just steps away from the victory. Eco misses on the jump up. He's gonna have to take the long way around, steps away, and it was stopped short. Stellar now picking up the mantle of responsibility, but he doesn't have any shield, so he needs to slow down, recharge the shield before going in, getting the dunk, and getting SSG back in the series.
When Eco missed the Glamber and he died, I was thinking for a second, oh, maybe Proton can do this. But Spacestation, like I said, it's not a matter if they're gonna win, it's by how much on this map. They're so effective at getting captures. And remember, they were averaging 30 seconds of flag cap at the start of that game. It's any moment of weakness, they will pounce and they will take advantage. I mean, you know, sometimes you don't get gifted the RNG of the best of 5 draw, right? You see that game 3 is flag on Aquarius. You might as well chalk it up to Spacestation. You know that the sweep just can't happen. Now we go to King of the Hill on recharge, and we'll have to see if that momentum that Spacestation got from playing their best game type is enough to get them right back into this game. But Proton, even when they're playing at such a disadvantage, they were never out of it, right? They always were still fighting, making insane plays. That breaking shot double kill, they were always within reach of this game. So I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, we're going to game 5 right now. Proton Gaming still looking like a well-oiled machine in this game.
Proton Gaming are still in the fight, still with the lead even along the series, which it's crazy to see after the efficiency of SSG in this game number 3. And I'm gonna always remember SSG Aquarius. I mean, you know, half the map is yellow for a reason. SSG seem to have their home here in that Aquarius CTF.
That LBR from Eco's insane.
Honestly, that was incredible. But then also, I think that he rotates with camo and gets another takedown.
Yeah. I just love to see that play where Eco, I think a lot of players just discount how good Eco is. I think he's one of the smartest Halo minds to ever play the game, but he's also like when he needs to be a shooter, when he needs just to slay, he has the capability of doing it as well as anyone else in the game. Honestly, like Eco's like a Halo player's player. He doesn't necessarily stand out to the general audience, but when you go talk to pro players about who they think is the best player in the game or who understands Halo on another level, Eco's always in that conversation. He really changed the meta of Halo in Halo 5 when his team Splice started to dominate. You saw how quickly his team set the meta in Halo Infinite out the gate, where they looked unbeatable for 2 tournaments in a row. You know that when Eco is at the helm of a team, that he can lead them to championship victories.
So So for that reason, would you say that Eco is your player to watch for SSG if they're going to force this to a game 5?
Oh, absolutely. The Ego is going to be the player that's making the smart plays, right? That's going to keep his team in the moment to win, right? They're always going to have the capability of coming back. But that being said, every player in this lobby has that potential, right, to step up when it's needed. I just say Eco has that factor where he does it time and time again. But Proton, they won the power weapons. Look at the setup. They have C control. They have everything that they could possibly want. They just want Posey out of this hill with that camouflage. But able to get this free opening time, for Space Station's going to have to find a way to break.
Yeah, and Proton are kind of matching, are doubling up on the kills too. 6 to the 3 of SSG is proving too strong. SSG now trying to break through. They get the opening pick, but it's answered back. 3 go down for SSG. Monster with the double kill, looking for the triple, and it's on to Eco that the assist comes through. Common credited with the kill. This first hill already halfway captured by Proton. I'm not seeing that momentum that you might have expected from the nice game 3 win that SSG just came home with.
Oh, breaking shot. He had something in mind. I did not see that play coming. He split the defenders. He's able to get 2. He's not stopping at 3. He's freestyling. Oh, he had no more grapple left. He was going for it all. Oh, my breaking shot.
Wait, what did you see on that first grapple play to top A that showed you that he was splitting the defense?
He waited patiently at bottom A, waited for the player to come in. I was like, oh, he's going for a back smack. He's like, nope, I'm waiting for you guys to leave so I can get behind. He built in his own flank with the grappling hook, and it just was phenomenal to watch Proton Gaming swing it out the gate.
I love it when you're like learning from the players. Like, you see what they could be going after, and then they just take it to the next level of the strategy. And the idea is breaking shot's gonna go back to the respawn screen, maybe take 8 seconds to formulate his next push, but it's Posey with the sidekick, finding the breakthrough kill. 3 go down for Proton. Monster as the last alive, and he's dealing with Eco with the shock rifle. Lines up the shots. Breaking shot is the one to claim that kill, and watch out because he has the shock rifle and 2 grapples.
Yeah, and this is Space Station. They're close to getting this one through, but it's never over till it's over.
Woo!
But Eco gets the big kill across the map. Camo in the hands of Bound. This one is going in favor of Space Station. Look at Eco. He's already trying to win the A spawns. He's going to get that trade, but what that's going to do is it's going to prevent Proton Gaming from spawning in A, so they don't even win the rotate. They gave up the hill early. It doesn't matter. Proton still has to fight through. They're able to win those fights, but it just shows you, hey, Eco, he's ready for that next spawn. He's going to make it hard every single time.
A big brain play from Eco, but it doesn't come through, at least for now, because 3-4 go down for SSG. Proton should get this hill halfway captured before SSG can get back into the fight. Monster's trying to prevent that from happening. Look at the stall tactic. Go is in for the trade in the final seconds, just holding SSG at bay as Proton, one of the easiest to defend points on this map, and Proton is locking it down. Comet has to scramble away because who is it? It's Eco with the help of Bound storming the castle.
Breaking shot's able to take one, and Monster should be able to clean it up, but Bound had other things in mind. He gets the kill, and like you said, this is one of the easiest hills to defend. So although Proton Gaming have it almost there, Space Station Gaming have the hill control and have position on the map. They can shred Proton Gaming on these crosses.
And they're trying to do that, but look at SSG. The crossfire is shredding as you predicted. Now Penguin picking up the camo, and the great defense from Proton locking down the objective is being matched by SSG as they are tied on this hill time. One last push for Proton, or do they double back? It looks like they might just be setting up for hill number 3, going down to blue pipes. Proton choose not to overextend. Maybe it was because they knew that the camo was in play, that Space Station had them beat.
And sometimes it just comes down to one kill, and that kill was Monster versus Bound in the hill. Bound wins the fight, the hill goes to Space Station Gaming. It just shows you how hard it is to break that third hill rotation. And now Space Station already on top of their P's and Q's, making sure that they're set up once again. It's starting to feel like they're running away with this one.
Team is starting to run away. Proton Gaming might see a little bit of a level of desperation here because they don't want to go down 3-1. It's not, you know, it's not a game over, it's not GG's, but the morale might just spell disaster. But Bound is single-handedly keeping them at bay at arm's length. The double kill. Bound is 13-7, nearly doubling up kills to death. But Breaking Shot and the rest of Proton, they're not out of the fight. The grapple play could have kept Breaking Shot alive, but he's shot out of the air. Space Station maintained control.
Yeah, creative thought process from Breaking Shot, and although he doesn't get the kill, it does do one thing. It keeps the shock rifle and the grapple hook away from Space Station, really conceding that he was going to lose that gunfight, but it buys enough time for his team to fight in once again. But they have to start winning some individual slays. They need to have someone else step up to Breaking Shot's level if they're going to win this hill.
Breaking Shot finds a kill with the frag grenade. He has opening damage on the second player. I believe it's Stellar at the back of C. The team fire goes down, but Breaking Shot didn't stay alive. So Stellar being outnumbered, coming out with a trade is a great play for SSG. Posey with the back smack and fighting at the top. 3 are down. It's only Penguin left alive, and Posey sets it up with a repulsor to send that Penguin out for the team fire. Proton Gaming are back on the hill, but it's 1/3 to the 2/3 of time that Space Station already have.
Posey's doing his best to stay alive. He eventually goes down. And you can see the push is going to start happening from Space Station. They're going to force Monster out. And now it's going to come down to this fight. Whoever wins this fight will probably win this hill. And Monster's trying to play patient, but I think that damage is going to be a backbreaker for him. Can he live? No. Bound takes him down. 4 go down for Proton Gaming. I don't think they're going to have enough time to really facilitate another push into this hill. And now you're down 3-1. You're down 2 hills. And it's always a question of, do Space Station play for the hill or play for the time? There's still 3 minutes on this clock, right?
Yeah.
You're probably playing for hill in this situation. So I think Proton, there's still enough time in this game for them to come back.
Enough time for Proton, but they need to really pick up the pace on this hill. You know, 2 minutes and 50 now to work with. I think that means that Space Station can't afford to just play Slayer. They're still going to put the priority onto that objective. Bound gets a kill, is taken down. 3 go down for Proton. But Stellar hops off the hill. Maybe a little bit of playing for those kills, not letting Common get too comfortable because they want to lock down the A side spawns. This is something you told me like months ago, Tools, that when it comes to King of the Hill here on Recharge, you need to hold on the A side spawns, and Stellar's doing just that with kill after kill. Leaves Posey at 1 HP.
Yeah, Stellar just needed a crumb of help from the rest of his team to keep that hill. He was doing everything that he could. But exactly, A spawns are so vital, and you're gonna see Space Station. They're clinical the way that they will continually try to break through A before they play for this hill. And unfortunately, it might come to bite them because that A was being used as bait for Proton Gaming to get away with camouflage instead. So I believe they do have camouflage to work with here. It's going to be Breaking Shot who got it. So a smart play by Proton, right? They left A open, said, yes, you guys can rotate to A. We're going to counter rotate to C, and we're going to ensure that we get this camouflage, and we're going to use the camo to win this game.
Yeah, it's smart that Breaking Shot with the camo rotates off of that hill, not wanting to give away his position. And right now he's tracking Penguin at the back of pipe. He caught sight on him. He's trying to hit that perfect with the shock rifle. We know how dangerous Breaking Shot can be with this power weapon, and you see it in action. Now looking for the double kill onto Bound. That perfect shot comes through. The headshot for the kill, but the fight's not over. It's Eco at the back of Mohawk, just jiggle peeking on either side of that wall. Breaking Shot, unfortunately, that shot finds the back of the teammate Common before the assist comes through.
I mean, you have a 2-on-1 with a shock rifle against Eco, and Eco still somehow finds a trade, and it forces Breaking Shot to move out of the hill and get themselves the A spawn once again. And well, this hill, it's not free necessarily yet for Proton Gaming. You can start to see Space Station are flooding in. They're gonna get the double kill. They take control of spawns, and Proton Gaming they're gonna have to work through the map. So even if they get this hill, they're probably gonna have to spend another 45 seconds to probably get this thing, unless if they get just a 4 down immediately.
Yeah, and half of the time is up, right? This is where Space Station are playing to time instead of playing for hills, because they had that 3 minutes going into this 5th hill. It's already cut in half. We're below 1:30. And after this hill, assuming Proton locks it down, we reset. We go back to the top of the order. That's bottom mid, one of the hardest capture because there's line of sights from every angle.
Oh, what a stick for breaking shot. He was hoping to get a 2-for-1 value, but not to be. Camouflage is up. Common sees it, and he falls for the trap. He goes down, but not before he takes one with him. And all these fights are really for this camouflage. Someone needs to get away with it, and Proton plays fast. They play for a burn instead. I think that they could have played a more patient game and tried to win the gunfights against Space Station. Instead, they funnel their lives into that hill, and they just keep getting shot like fish in the barrel.
Yeah, a little bit of desperation plays coming out from Proton as they didn't have the patience to set up a perimeter on the hill to secure camo and then maybe the objective, and the clock keeps ticking. Just 45 seconds left, and Space Station are winning kill after kill. 2 go down for Proton. No time on this 6th hill, and Space Station might be a slim lead 3-2, but the clock is their best friend.
Right, only 30 seconds for them to keep the opposing team out of hill, and Penguin was the most important player there, controlling the back C spawns. He's eventually taken out, but he bought more than enough time for his team to work with, trying to keep a long distance pair of eco, and now Posey has to take up the back C spawns himself. Finally, Proton are able to get back into this hill, but they're playing on a thin edge, right? Only 18 seconds to work with outside of that hill. You know, Space Station are just going to constantly work on these slays in the hill, and eco might have just broke the back. The dagger is in. That double kill is going to end this game. There is no one from Proton that has a chance. We're going to game 5.
Yeah, the double kill and then follow up by taking down breaking shot. That's the play to seal the deal for SSG, carrying on to a game number 5. What a series matchup we have on our hands. SSG, they're in that number 2 seeded position, but right now the contest, it's not Optic, it's not FaZe, it's Proton Gaming that are making them work hard if they want to take the series.
And now this is uncharted territory for Proton Gaming. Within 2023, with this team with Monster on the roster, they have not played a game 5 situation against a top 16 team. New world for them. Space Station, on the other hand, not the greatest success on game 5. I think they have a 2-3 record, but I think everyone can go back and remember that game versus Native White on Empyrean Slayer when it was Sniper v Sniper, 49 all. It was Eco Smith that hit the shot and won them the game. Last time they played Empyrean on game 5, it was an absolute instant classic. This is a scary team to play against. Space Station can always win a series. You can never count them out. And Proton have to be kicking themselves, making this one go to game 5. But it's time to ice up on the classic map, the Pit, Slayer, 2 snipers, everything you could possibly want.
The initial break is going to be that fight for the rockets and for the overshield. The snipes are going to come into play on Empyrean. There is everything. We got repulsor. You got grenades galore. What's your takeaway from this game? This game 4 to tie up the series. You said leading into the game that Eco was the player to watch, but I mean, you could single out any player on the side of SSG and say they filled their role. Look at Bound right here, 19 and 8 off of that kill. And I think that this 3rd capture was really what sealed the deal, what set the tone for SSG to take the win.
Yeah, I think this game we're really going to have to watch the battle between your main slayers, Bound and Breaking Shot.
Yeah.
You're really going to count on those players to bring it up. Now, I will say a little caveat to that is you also have to keep an eye on Stellar. He's going to be that player that they really push the snipers to for this team. So if Stellar gets his hands on that sniper and he gets in the positions that he likes, he can absolutely close this game out. But the same can be said with Breaking Shot. We've seen some incredible shots from him throughout this series. He's just as talented with that sniper. But really, I think it's going to come down to sniper battles. Who wins the sniper battles throughout this game?
It's going to be a lot of fun as we head into game number 5 to see those snipe offs, the counter snipe potential on Slayer. Empyrean SSG are exactly 50%. They're 4 and 4 on this map and mode. So if they want to push to the majority side of that percentage, they need to get this full reverse sweep onto Proton. Now, Proton games 1 and 2 were both close. Actually, I mean, if you look at this score screen, every game was close, although I would argue that game number 3 is a little deceptive. It felt a little bit more one-sided than maybe any other match in the series on the side of SSG, but there's this all just boiling down to this game, right? This game 5 is it. Proton started off the series strong, kind of tapered off. SSG picked up where they left off. So right now, momentum has to be the side of SSG. Proton need to find that secret that they unlocked in the first 2 matches if they're gonna force this upset.
Yeah, I think there's been a clear divide in this best of 5 thus far. There's been the first half and the second half. The first half, it was all Proton making the big plays, making sure that they won the game, really playing an icy game. The second half, it's the last 2 games, the scoreline looks deceptive. It hasn't been close. Spacestation have played better through and through. They have all the momentum behind them. They're going into Empyrean Slayer, which has been a 50-50 win percentage for them. I think they're 4-4 on Empyrean Slayer against top 16 teams. But we're talking about game 5, Spacestation game. This is when they're at their best. It's when the stakes are on the line. It's when everything comes down to one moment. They thrive under these conditions.
You gotta imagine that for SSG, the T-bones are on the airplane, right? The stakes are high. Is this high enough stake for SSG to clutch up in game 5?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Space
I
Station.
T-bone steak.
Yeah, a little T-bone, a little medium rare. I think that's are you saying the Space Station's gonna stake? Is that what you're trying to say right here?
No, it was supposed to be a wordplay on the stakes are high, but I'm not hoping it's gonna be a spectacular either way. I think that I think both teams are gonna cross the 40 kill mark. I think that game 5 does go to SSG if you're asking my prediction, but I don't think they win by more than 10.
Well, in the meantime, while we wait for these players to get themselves into that game 5, we're going to take a look over at this Optic Gaming and Avengers game. They're in game 4. Optic up 2-1. So this Avengers roster been much better than I think people anticipated. They have been consistently taking games off top teams. They are an upset potential team through and through. I really love the addition of Switch, but you're starting to see Optic Gaming. It feels like Avengers are constantly 3 down. They just can't get their BRs all up at the same time at the moment.
And I don't have the scores for all the series. I just know that the game that Avengers won was that game 2 Slayer. So they tied up the series. Game 3 was that Aquarius CTF that Optic won to lead them to this 2-1 advantage in game number 4. But it's tied currently 2-2, but Optic are at a full 3/4 on the hill. Trippy's trying to hold down that A spawn, and a great use of the repulsor sends back Huss, and Huss regathers, regroups, and comes out with the win despite being flung off his feet.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful play to get to back A, and this hill is not lost for Avengers, but it's going to come down to some crucial kills. They need to start getting a 3-4 downs if they're going to win this game. We'll keep ourselves checked in with the results of this game, but you can start to see our game 5, our main event is starting. Empyrean Slayer game 5, Proton Gaming versus Spacestation Gaming. Whoever wins this is probably going to win their pool.
It's so fun watching these matchups because we saw Sentinels take a game off of Optic. We saw Native Red taking a game off of FaZe. And now as we head into game number 5, SSG and Proton are quite literally at each other's throats in this game 5 Empyrean Slayer. Keep an eye out for those snipers. We love a good snipe play, but even more so, it can be the deciding factor of the momentum on this game. With that sniper in hand, you can get the body shot damage, or you can get a clean kill across the map without that risk of being traded out. So off the rip, it's Stellar already connecting with the sniper, already hitting the body shot. But what did they give up? It looks like Penguin with the rockets, Cozy with the overshield, last alive on the side of Proton. And Penguin uses that play to steal away the sniper and burn off as much ammo as he can, just in case he gets taken down. Breaking Shot is approaching just above his head. Breaking Shot not aware of Penguin living here in the back of the base, and he gets the kill. Proton are still stuck at 0.
Yeah, Proton Gaming played a really risky gambit right there, deciding not to contest for Rockets at all. Instead, they prioritized getting to that repulsor and overshield. The problem is Stellar went right for that sniper, and he put an end to those plans, hit the body shot. The rest of the team wrapped around, were able to get the kills. And now, not only did you lose the Rockets off start, you lost both the sniper rifles, you lost position. It was a devastating result for Proton Gaming. The thing is that you can come back in any Empyrean game, right? It's so snowball, especially on the pro level, as long as you can get control of the map. But breaking control for a team like Spacestation can feel like an impossible task.
But look at Proton. They got Posey all the way in the back of the SSG base. Posey does find that kill. He might pick up the final round that's left in the sniper. Everyone is scattered, right? You have those locked in spawns, but right now you see players from both sides on either corner of the map. Posey is holding down the sniper tower spawn, locking it away from SSG, but he doesn't have any sniper ammo. He has to win that BR fight, and he does. Still that 5-point, now 6-point lead. Space Station started off 6-0, and they've maintained that control throughout.
And what you're gonna see two very different play styles from these teams. Space Station, they feel like a well-oiled machine. They're always going to be on top of helping each other, ensuring that they're assisting each other. On the other side, you're gonna see a lot of flanks, a lot of big moment plays from players like Breaking Shot, Monster, and Posey. They're gonna be looking to go big on their own and just control this game and be a gravitational well for the other team to worry about. And so far, Breaking Shot's doing a phenomenal job at that. He doesn't need anyone to come assist him. He can be on an island and play isolation Slayer, and he's just starting to heat up. Look at these kills, and right back into the game is Proton Gaming.
And the timing too, they tie up the game just as the next round of Rockets and Overshield are in play. So you have to think that Proton take the lead off of these wins. On the little pop-up here, we do see that Optic end up winning out that series 3-1 versus Avengers. We got a quick peek of them on that King of the King of the Hill on Recharge, and they do clutch up the series. But this game is looking to be a neck-and-neck fight as Proton steal back the lead with the use of those power-ups.
Posey goes up high, and he starts to spray and pray. He takes down one, and you can see Proton Gaming just have complete control so far, taking over this base. And now Breaking Shot, he's in the 1v3, but the sniper might be the equalizer. Monster comes to help, and all of a sudden Space Station, they're trapped with two snipers dissecting them. They're basically perpendicular to each other on this map, and it is headshot after headshot between these two snipers.
It's Monster and Breaking Shot, not dueling snipers, but on the same side, perpendicular snipers. And what was once a 6-point lead for Space Station is now a 7-point lead for Proton, and climbing as Monster has yet to be taken down. He's gonna have to back off for a brief moment. That forward position is taken away as Breaking Shot goes down. Space Station stabilized on the sniper tower, and Monster spends every round of that snipe. 1 round left for Eco if he wants to take it.
Space Station, I mean, props to them for responding as quickly as they did, because that game, that was like a 15-3 run. It felt like how fast Proton took control of this game. But as soon as they found that kill on Monster, they opened it all up. They started getting the big kills, and they're still within reach on this game, and they're able to get Stellar with the sniper once again. But Proton Gaming's just waiting for an opening for them to push forward. But sometimes you have to peek to see if you can push forward, and sometimes Stellar's waiting there with a sniper rifle to take ahead.
And sometimes Stellar hits that perfect headshot with the snipe. The last round from the snipe is meant for Common, but it's Eco who gets the kill with the BR. Breaking Shot at top sword, singled out, and he's played so well as that lone wolf Slayer, but now he might have found more than he can handle as Penguin takes down the kill. Breaking Shot loses the heat wave, and watch out, Space Station are back within 2 as this game is kicking off. Slayer starts at 30, Proton hit 30 first.
Posey's able to get these rockets, but you can see Overshield went to Space Station Gaming. And Posey, he knows that he just can't push up for free. Those rockets, you like to think that they're, free kills on the map, but he's being chased down at the moment, and he's only going to get the value of 1. That Overshield able to neutralize the rockets. So you'll take a 1-for-1 trade with rockets, especially if it comes down from cleaning the rats out of your base. Common goes down to the back, smack the exterminators, get the job done. Just one more player and Breaking Shot to worry about.
Oh, and Monster though. Monster might come over to provide some support as well. Breaking Shot does go down, but Monster trades out that kill, looking for a second. Eco gets traded out. We're tied 34 all. I said that both teams are crossing 40 right now. We're looking at another 49-50 potential finish between these two teams. Neither one able to break away in the end stages of this game.
Now Sniper's coming back up, you know, even game. This feels like where we're gonna see a team potentially pull away, and who else but Stellar to win the fight. Bound is now gonna be able to secure the sniper rifle for his team. It's dual snipers, and Proton are gonna have to quickly figure this out. If I'm Bound, I'm getting back to my side. I'm getting this sniper to safety, and if I am gonna die, I'm throwing it off the map. But Breaking Shot, perfect position, perfect time.
If Proton come back in this game, that was the turning point, because Breaking Shot with the heat wave got the double kill and stole the sniper, not allowing it to get burned off the side of the map. Right when Space Station were looking like they were gonna run away with this game, they had both snipers in control, but nothing is secure until you deal with Breaking Shot. Stellar finds the counter snipe, takes him down, but Common with a double kill to tie it up. Stellar on a killing spree.
Stellar has completely taken over this game with the sniper. 16 kills for him, double positive throughout this game, and it's largely been because of the headshots he's been hitting with that sniper. But Penguin's leading an expedition to get behind the opposing team, and they're trying to alleviate pressure so Stellar can play forward. And here we go, Stellar in the perfect spot to take care of Breaking Shot, but Breaking Shot somehow finesses his life.
He just like sprinted across the pit. He stayed alive. I think he's actually behind Stellar in the base. The shots are coming through. There's Breaking Shot. Ends up as a trade between the two lead slayers. And what does that leave? It leaves players like Posey. It leaves players like Monster to pick off where Breaking Shot left off. A 2-point lead now for Proton, 46-44. Space Station is in trouble because Monster has rockets and Common has the spawn trap.
There's nothing they can do. Oh my, Eco gets a huge kill. Penguin needs to live, but Monster and Common are coming around this corner. He leaves Common by himself. Common gets the kill. How does he do it? In the 1v2, just one more kill for Proton. Breaking Shot's on his way. The extra shield will win the game. Proton Gaming get the job done, and it all comes down to the slays when the rockets and overshield were coming up, and it gets Space Station down. Oh my god, what a comeback from this Proton roster.
It was 6-0 SSG in the beginning break of this game, but it came down to that flip of points. I think you said it was like a 15-3, and that sounds about right. An incredible turnaround in mid-game, and then the clutch kills in the end game, where we saw SSG had both snipers in control until Breaking Shot took down the double kill with the heat wave, steals the sniper, and it was all momentum in the final stretch for Proton Gaming. This final trap, Common locked down the spawn, forced SSG to spawn at Needles, and Breaking Shot with the overshield storms the castle.